The UK has just signed off on a record-breaking batch of offshore wind projects, securing 8.4 gigawatts of new capacity across England, Scotland and Wales, including one site that could become the biggest offshore wind farm on the planet. My name is Jack Revis and welcome to this week's episode of Tax Tidbits, where the government has said that offshore wind is central to hitting its target of 95% clean energy by 2030. They have also confirmed that wind is still cheaper than building new gas power stations, even if it's not quite the bargain it used to be. Analysts have confirmed that while the government's clean energy targets are technically achievable, the target will still be extremely challenging due to tight timelines, rising costs, and the small issue of actually being able to plug all that energy into the grid. Now, the impact of this on bills is still uncertain. Bills could go up or down depending on a range of factors, including how the energy we produce compares to the price of electricity on the wholesale market. So while this is up in the air, it's still good news for clean energy security and long-term investment in the UK. The government is expected to ease off planned business rate hikes for pubs in England after realising that hammering landlords with much higher bills on top of rising energy, staffing and beer costs might not be the best way to keep the nation's locals alive. Expected changes could mean tweaking how pub rates are calculated or offering more relief, leading to smaller increases over a few years. The rethink comes after heavy lobbying from pub owners, and it seems that high street shops, gyms, music venues and even pharmacies are attempting to do the same, saying that they are facing the same post-COVID squeeze, but are being left out. It seems that many sectors feel as though a fundamental business rates reform is needed to prevent further widespread financial strain on businesses. The government has ditched its plans to force workers to sign up for digital ID just to prove they can work in the UK, marking another high-profile U-turn. For 2029, right-to-work checks will still be digital, like using biometric passports, but the ID scheme itself will be optional. The original plan to make it mandatory for all workers crashed and burned thanks to public backlash, with nearly 3 million people signing a petition against it. The government says it remains committed to modernising the paper-heavy system to prevent fraud and make life easier, but the exact details of how the digital ID will work are still being worked out. Now, we've all heard about how weight loss jabs are affecting people taking them, but what about how they're affecting businesses? Interestingly, Greg's boss has said that the rise in popularity of these weight loss drugs is changing what people buy. Customers are going for smaller portions and healthier protein and fibre-packed options, which is taking a bite out of the sales of Greg's traditional pasties, cakes and pastries. In response, the chain has been rolling out smaller, higher protein snacks aimed at those taking weight loss drugs. The most notable being their boiled eggs product, which they're advertising using the slogan, "Eggs at Greg's." These shifting appetites, along with shrinkflation, new junk food advertising restrictions and increased sugar taxes, are reshaping the food market entirely, leaving supermarkets and eateries scrambling to keep up. It's a reminder that businesses have to stay flexible and adapt as public tastes and, in this case, waistlines evolve. As January's self-assessment rules kicks in, HMRC has reported that 5.6 million taxpayers still haven't filed their 2025 tax returns, meaning this month's forecast for accountants is a downpour of last-minute clients, a flurry of panic questions, and a chance of choosing another profession before the month is up. Yeah, if you haven't heard from your accountant recently, you might want to check in. Well, 6.36 million taxpayers have already wrapped things up neatly, Tens of thousands chose to ring in 2026 by filing over New Year's Eve or even New Year's Day, with a few brave even hitting submit in the very last hour of 2025. What a way to end the year. As ever, January proves that procrastination is still alive and well, keeping us all on our toes as the 31st of January looms. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Tax Tidbits. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our videos. See you next time.